Welcome back to Little Snickers, baby. Back for round 2 of this episode. We tried to do a live stream. We had some technical difficulties, so we're doing this pre-recorded.
This is live at the time.
Count on Jala. How are you, friend?
I'm good, Mike. How are you?
I'm great, man. I'm happy to be here with you again, man. I'm bummed that our buddy Jake isn't here. Motherfucker probably got kidnapped again.
I know.
Some bullshit. He's either kidnapped or cheek deep in some pussy.
Or fucking balls deep in a foam pit. There are always 3 options with him not being around.
I will say this, because I proposed it to him before, and he has agreed to it. But Jake said once we hit 2,000 patrons, he's willing to jump into the foam pit and willing to swim his way out.
Yeah.
To overcome his fear of the foam pit. For those of you that don't know, sometime last year, Jake went to a foam pit and he got stuck in there, and he had to have a foam lifeguard help him out. And yes, everybody who does work near foam is a lifeguard. So suck my dick.
I've never been in a foam pit, have you?
I did. I went in one, I would say, in March.
Is it at all a struggle to get out of?
It is tough.
Yeah.
And it's gross.
I can imagine it's fucking gross. It's like a ball pit that just absorbs more grossness than a ball does.
I went during daytime hours while school was in session, and I was basically in there by myself.
That's weird.
I had a very good reason to be there.
Of course you did. You were trying to look at little children.
Needless to say, I was there. All right. So I was there. I was in the foam pit. And as soon as I got in there, I was like, I could see how somebody can get stuck in one of these fucking things.
Yeah. I have no upper body strength. I have pretty much atrophied all my muscles over the years. And I fear my first time in a pit. I feel like I would have to go in private to know that I could do it in public.
You do have the build of an old man that gets abused.
Oh, man. I didn't have to get abused.
We got to trick you into working out. But, dude, yeah. I lift weights, and I felt like at a certain point, like, I didn't think I was going to get sucked, but I felt like, damn, this is much tougher than I anticipated.
And you're saying you had an appropriate amount of upper body strength at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an odd feeling.
It's like, it's got to be like moving through like fucking a pool full of Jello or something, right? It's like every step is really like a half step back or something.
Yeah, it's like trying to eat pussy in a dream.
It is tough. It is tough to eat pussy in a dream. Man, that shit hit me, bro.
All right, brother. So you want to flip that motherfucking coin? Even though you already lost the first coin toss on the fucking stream.
Nah, this is our first attempt at doing any kind of content tonight.
Well, I hope God punishes you and gives me another episode that I want.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You think God's on your side?
I know he is.
Let's see about that.
God's on my one side, the devil's on the other, bitch.
Fucking God, you piece of shit.
Thank you.
Thought you were on my side.
Sweet Jesus. You know that footprints poem?
Yeah.
That's me and Jesus at the beach.
Yeah, when you got too coked up and drunk to walk.
Yeah, we're playing pickleball together.
He had to give you a fucking piggyback ride to the ATM so you could hit your guy up for coke again.
Dude, yeah, I did have trouble walking home from the bar one night. I had to call my wife.
Walking home in like this area?
Yeah, it was not at this place, but the last place where I lived, which was not far from here.
Down like a main road?
Yeah, off of Chester Pike. Do you know where that is?
You'd be like stumbling on the sidewalk while cars drove by, right? Yeah.
Dude, I had so much to drink this night. And, you know, I like to drink anyway. But like this night, I just had way more than I usually do. And I got about halfway home. I knew where my fucking house was. But I just could not walk. So like I fell onto a step. I took out my phone. I called my wife and I was like, Jamie, I don't know how to walk. She's like, what are you even talking about? I was like, I don't know how to walk right now. She's like, you just put one foot in front of the other and you can stay on the phone with me the whole time if you need to. But,
and you were off your feet at that point.
Yeah, I was sitting on somebody's stoop.
Oh, damn. Maggie had to come peel me off of the fucking street by Gino's one night.
You forget how to walk sometimes.
Dude, yeah. It was like a bachelor party night. Everybody got cheesesteaks. My legs give out at some point, and I'm like a fucking drunk maniac on the ground.
I get it,
just like wiggling around. And she had to come at like 3:30 in the morning in a car.
Bless her heart, man.
Oh, dude, and scoop me up. Scoop me off like a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, man. Those are rough days. I remember one time, too, I got super drunk. The very first podcast that I used to do, I got super drunk at this podcasting studio I used to go to in Old City, Philadelphia. My wife drove me there, so I was like, yeah, I'm going to get fucking hammered.
You got driven there so you could get fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got super fucked up, and she started driving home, And within about 5 minutes, I knew I was going to throw up. I had the window down. The fucking breeze is blasting me in the face. And I was like, hey, can you pull over? So she pulls off of 95 at one of the South Philly exits. And as she pulls off, she comes to a stop sign, and I just jump out of the car and I take off running.
Oh my God. Why is that the right thing to do in your brain?
Because in my mind, I was so embarrassed that I was about to throw up in front of my wife.
Yeah, so make it that much more difficult for her to get you home.
It was the white trash born identity. She's chasing me through the streets of South
As
Philly.
you're kicking trash cans and fucking stray cats are screaming.
It wasn't that far off, John, because as I'm running, I'm throwing up all over myself. And I had this sweater on that I really liked. But I threw up all over the sweater, and I'm running through the street in South Philly, just trying to peel my sweater off over my head. I finally got it off. And then I was hiding from my wife because I was so embarrassed. So I see her driving my car, going around the block, looking for me. And I was just hiding behind cars so she didn't see me. So then I just called my buddy Mayo up. I was like, yo, can you come get me? He's like, yeah, no problem. So he came and got me, and ended up getting a little bit of drugs that night. So I stayed out all night. I did a bunch of coke, and then I went home and told my wife what happened the next day.
How long do you think she was looking for you? Did she tell you?
She didn't tell me, but
you gotta imagine she did a couple more laps around the block at least.
She's a good lady. She did a few more laps.
Man, blacking out fucking rules.
I know, dude. I miss it so much.
We were kings.
Yeah. Shout out to all my blackout kings out there. Put your wife through the ringer, baby.
Yeah, make sure you run away and vomit all over yourself in South Philly.
All right, brother. We got a good stinker tonight, man.
All right.
You ready for this motherfucker?
I don't know.
Oh, you should be ready, man. We got real fucking bad boy on our hands.
Okay.
It is not modern. I know the definition now, so you're not going to get me with that one again. All right. And last week, we did a gentleman who had the funniest fucking
voice, right?
The weepy voice.
Yeah,
killer.
Furman played me his tapes on the way to our show last week.
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
very creepy sounding.
It was the first bad nickname for a serial killer that we've covered yet. This one's kind of nice.
Mr. Weepy voice. Yeah. It's the Pussy Willow Killer.
So this motherfucker had two nicknames. All right, one was the Brownout Killer.
That's what's up.
The Brownout Strangler. The other one was the Singing Strangler.
Whoa. Who was there to tell of his melodies?
Well, they called him the Singing Strangler because he loved when his mommy would sing to him as a child.
Oh.
And then he had 3 victims, and according to him, he picked victims according to how pleasant their voices were. At least one of the ladies was a singer, and the other 2 just must have had very nice speaking voices.
Okay. That's true. Truly one of the creepier details about somebody picking their victims.
Dog, and there was one of them.
Their fucking voice.
And this wasn't about the singing lady. It was about one of the just pleasant speaking voice ladies.
Yeah.
This guy said his name was Eddie Leonski. He said that when I heard her voice, I knew I had to have it.
Oh my God. Like he's collecting
taking
them.
her voice, yeah.
He must have loved the Little Mermaid more than you. Oh wait, you were a Beauty and the Beast, bitch.
Yeah.
And Brownout Killer, I assume, refers to drinking.
No, that would be cool though. No, he was a soldier in World War II, and in Australia, they had something called a brownout because they were worried about the Japanese attacking via aircraft.
Okay,
so they would cut off the electricity at a certain point in the day to limit the Japanese ability to figure out where they were flying over.
Gotcha.
And kind of fuck with them and say like, okay, if they wanted to hit a certain area, the brownout would make it more difficult for them to find that because it wasn't illuminated.
Okay.
All right. So his name was Eddie Leonski. He was born in Kenville, New Jersey, which is
south or north?
It's north of Trenton and west of New York City.
Okay. Up there. Nice mountainy trees and shit.
It's up there. Yeah. Like most of our bad boys, he had a fucked up upbringing. Dad was a pretty bad alcoholic, and his mom was an alcoholic too, but her alcoholism kind of took off after she had left the dad.
Okay.
So the parents were immigrants. The dad was a Russian immigrant. The mom was a Polish immigrant. Their names were John and Amelia. He had...
Run that back?
John and Amelia.
Oh, I thought you said Regina.
Regina.
That's what I thought you said, brother. Isn't it a Canadian city that's pronounced that way?
Regina. I think it's in Saskatchewan, maybe.
All right. Boy, they don't have to fucking say it that way, though.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Bunch of pranksters up there in Sasquatch.
There is. And I don't know if this is because of that, but you know Patel's, the Italian cookies?
Yes.
There's a Patel company, and they sell them at my local Italian specialty shop called Little Gina's, but every time I see it, I think of Little Ginas.
Oh, fucking shit.
Yeah. I never buy them.
You buy every box they fucking have, don't you? Freaky piece of shit. Walking out the door. Sorry, they're out of Little Ginas.
I know I got a problem, but they are good Patels. Dude, I put up a video of me saying Little Ginas. Was showing a picture of the actual product. It got maybe one retweet. People were not into it at all.
Probably lost some followers on that one.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. So he had 3 brothers and a sister. And as time progressed, a couple of the brothers fell pretty deep into the depths of mental illness. So pretty fucked up mental illness runs in his family. And when the mom left the dad in the early 20s, the mom took the kids to New York City and the dad stayed in New Jersey. And he stayed in New Jersey until the late 20s, and the dad ended up killing himself.
He was alone, living by himself.
He was alone, yeah. The mom remarried, and unfortunately, she remarried the same type of guy as her first husband. So an abusive alcoholic.
Yeah.
Just a fucked up dude.
The whole family's living in the city now, though.
Mm-hmm.
They meet this guy in the city.
The mom eventually gets diagnosed with bipolar, possibly schizophrenic as well.
And what were the kids? Same his brothers were the same.
Yeah. One of the brothers was institutionalized for his mental illness, and another one ended up
being a sergeant in the army.
Yeah, he ended up going to jail.
Okay.
Oh, dude, get this.
And neither of them went to the war, I assume.
No, they did not. So while they were his brother John, he had a wife named Mae Black, which sounds like a very hot old-timey lady, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So John had a wife named Mae Black, who was described in this fucking book called Murder at Dusk, which was used as the primary form of reference for this presentation that I'm giving you right now. But he had a thick, hot, blonde wife named Mae Black. And when John went to the slammer, fucking Eddie Leonski started giving her the old
brown out.
Yeah.
The old Polish submarine. A screen door built in. They don't know what to put in the pussy. Can't believe they procreated at all. Just by dumb luck did those guys get their wieners wet.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happened to old John's wife, Mae Black. All right, but backing up a little bit. So the mom goes to the fucking nut hut, and he's doing okay in life at this point. Like he eventually, I think he graduates from middle school, but that's as far as he goes. No, junior high is as far as he goes. And then guess what he does after junior high?
Joins the army?
Not yet. He takes a 3-year secretarial course.
Okay.
So we might have a bad bitch on our hands. So this
sassy secretary.
This motherfucker's learning how to be a secretary. Now, he does do some fucking alpha shit. Like he learns how to box, he learns how to wrestle, and he lifts weights.
Better if you're going to be a male nurse. He had cat eye glasses and fucking nail polish on. I'll be right with you, hon, chewing gum. Just a fucking real bitchy Manhattan lady.
If you're going to stare at me that long, you might as well buy me. So that's probably the kind of shit he was saying. But dude, he prided himself on his penmanship as well.
That's nice.
Isn't that something you would like to have?
Yeah, I think I have pretty decent penmanship. But
do you really?
Yeah.
Write me a letter.
All right. Give your address out live.
I'm not too far off from that, John. Oh, dude, one of the things that he would do is he was very insecure, and one of the things that he would do to try to prove his security was show off how strong he was, or show off how hard he could hit somebody, or show off how he could out wrestle somebody.
In between answering calls as a secretary? Or?
Well, he did get a job at a supermarket, and when he was at the supermarket, he would go and pick up these huge bags of sugar, and Pardon me. And while he would have these conversations with coworkers and with customers, he would lift like the bags of sugar and do like curls and shit with them to show that like, oh wow, this whole thing, this is really nothing to me.
Yeah. This bag of sugar, it's only 50 pounds. I can lift it up over my head. How you like that?
Is there anything that you've tried to lift that you failed at miserably?
I'm sure at some point I have definitely thrown my back out, showing off.
Getting fucked.
Too more than I could bite. That's not the saying. Nah, I've lifted up a motorcycle successfully, which was a surprise. You
you trying to save your child?
Yeah, you
because moms will have that
big time
superpower.
fucking mom energy because you're just so fucking embarrassed that you dropped your motorcycle.
Oh my God,
what
what happened?
So it's like the fucking one thing you're not supposed to do to your motorcycle is let it be on its side.
Mm-hmm.
So you immediately like, oh my fucking God, and you just summon the strength of a 1,000 bitch wives, fat mommies.
How did you let it get to that point, man? It's like letting a baby sleep face down.
I was doing a slow U-turn and I was new to the bike, new to riding.
Oh, was this the same day that all the guys were calling you the bad F word?
No. That was many other days, but not that one in particular.
All right, so at this point, he's graduated from secretarial school. He's got fucking first-class penmanship. I don't, by the way. I'm just going to add this real quick.
You got chicken scratch?
Dog, I used to always get my balls busted by these fucking nuns at St. Al's fucking grade school in Upper Darby, and it made me feel like shit.
Did it have to do with being left-handed? Were you smearing?
It did.
Yeah.
Dog, they had these like L-shaped right-handed desks.
Those things are impossible to write left-handed.
My fucking elbow would be hanging off the side, and yet they would still bust my balls about having bad penmanship, making me do extra writing, and then still breaking my balls because it didn't look good.
Yeah. Wait, what age? High school?
No, all throughout grade school.
Because I feel like grade school, I had the square desk in front of me.
Dude, high school too. We had in every class in high school. My high school had the fucking L-shaped right-handed desk
They
as
didn't
well.
have one lefty in there?
There wasn't one fucking left-handed
Fuck.
desk.
They really fucking hated you.
It was fucked up, man.
Well, we'll write each other letters, and I'll use a red pen and correct your shitty fucking handwriting.
Well,
Just
suck my
like
dick. All right. So in 1941, he joins the Army. War's in full swing. He's like, all right, I'm going to Fort Sam Houston. They send him down to San Antonio, Texas. His alcoholism's in full swing at this point. He's fucking tearing it up. One very odd thing that he does is he's known for putting hot peppers into bottles of whiskey and then drinking the bottle of whiskey.
Yowzer.
Yeah, very fucking strange.
I thought you were going to say he's known to take a taxi down to Mexico and eat some fucking stripper
Gordita.
chocha.
If he's a cool guy, he probably did do that.
Yeah. Only cool guys do that.
And pour bottles of water over themselves as they talk about how cool they are eating pussy in Mexico. Doug, so he's down in Fort Sam Houston, Mexico. Yeah, Fort Sam Houston, Mexico. He's in San Antonio, Texas at Fort Sam Houston, drinking up a storm, drinking fucked up shit. He also does one very funny thing when he gets fucked up. His buddies would say they knew he was drunk when he would start doing this at the bar. What do you think he did?
Starts arm wrestling people?
No, he starts walking around on his hands.
Yes, dude. How the fuck can you be blacked out walking on your hands? That guy sounds like an athlete to me.
He does sound pretty fucking cool. So he would not only do it at the bar, but one time he was reprimanded by a sergeant on the base for crossing the street on his hands.
Certified stinker stamp of approval, dude.
No doubt, man.
That rules. That's so fucking funny.
It is, and like it's
I would
so
lose
funny.
my mind if I was at a bar and a guy started walking on his hands.
I would buy him everything that he wanted.
Yes, dude, I'd be fucking taking pictures with him, try and touch his wiener, size him up a little bit.
You think like when he's drunk, he'll arm wrestle with his foot. So he gets in trouble for walking across the street by his sergeant. This guy's name is Murray Cooper.
Murray Cooper just happened to be driving by.
Yeah, and he's like, dude, what the fuck is this?
You're in uniform. He salutes him with his foot. Attention.
When I was in the Marines, when I was briefly stationed in Yuma, Arizona, I got yelled at and set inside of a subway.
You for like a uniform
Yep.
mistake?
I still don't think it was wrong. I mean, technically, I guess yeah, but the guy was just being an absolute fucking
You
dildo.
fucking sweet onion all over your uniform. Just fucking sloppy.
No, I was in my civilian clothes, but I had on a backwards corn hat.
Which is... Oh, the band Corn.
Yeah.
So nothing military at all.
Right. But apparently the guy had an issue. He was a fucking officer.
He recognized you by your face. He knew who you were.
No. Like, he recognized me just because I'm on the base. Like, if you're on... This place is like...
Oh, it's
nobody's going to go here.
Base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I take it you're a Marine? I was like, yeah, what's up? He's like, you're not supposed to wear a hat indoors, let alone backwards. I was like, oh, man, my bad. Did it in front of my boys, too.
Damn. What'd you do? Eat the hat?
I took it off, and then I probably had a severe case of Bart Simpson at church hair. So I just dealt with the embarrassment of that. I got my Subway, and I felt like a fucking dickhead.
Everybody gets the same haircut, right?
You do, but... Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, because especially when you get out of boot camp, you could have it a little bit longer. It's just like you got to have like the sides and back trim, and I think there might be like a length that you might be able to have the top to a certain point.
Yeah. Well, that's not the worst Subway story I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've had worse sandwiches.
I think I've only been to Subway twice.
Really? And both times we're on a fucking army base?
No, dude. One time was there, and then one time I went there because it was close to a school I used to work at. And it might have been the worst sandwich I've ever had.
What did you get?
Maybe like an Italian sandwich.
Okay. I've only ever gotten the meatball.
It's the...
Getting lunch
whatever
meat
you
there
get from there,
seems,
it's the worst.
I don't look at a Subway and think, I want the vegetables that they have inside of there.
Just everything's just... It smells weird.
Yeah. Actually, I like the smell. It smells like the bread that they bake.
But you just know something fucked up goes into it because of how it smells. But I fucking hated it. Anyway, our boy Eddie Leonski, he's in the Army. Eventually, they're like, all right, dude, Australia's having some fucking issues with these bad boys, so we're going to have to send you over there. Eventually, like, there's like, I think 250,000 U.S. troops over in Australia.
I don't think I've ever heard of anything in Australia during
I didn't
World
either.
War II.
Like, this was all new to me, and especially like with the brownout shit. Like, I was like, whoa, I had no idea this shit happened.
Yeah, I've never heard of this.
Apparently, there had already been a Japanese attack on Australia, which prompted them asking for help.
Was Australia involved at all? Did they send troops to
I don't know.
Japan or Germany or Europe, rather?
Yeah, I don't know.
I've never heard of a single fucking Australian war story besides when they slaughtered the natives.
That was unnecessary. But then
I'll
they
tell
made
you
up
what,
for it.
It was unnecessary.
They made up for it with Crocodile Dundee. You ever see that movie?
You call that a movie?
I love when that dude is doing coke at the party and he says, "Black nose, have you?"
I don't get that.
So the guy's doing coke and he thinks he's got a cold. So he thinks he's got a blocked nose.
Oh, yeah.
So then
he's snorting aspirin.
Yeah. So then he makes him put his head over a pot of steaming water. Good guy, man.
What an innocent fucking retard Crocodile Dundee was.
So they set sail from the ship called the Mariposa, which is, I think they set sail from San Francisco. So this is 2 weeks that he has to go without a drink. Full-blown alcoholism at this point, so he's like fucking struggling the entire time they're on their way there.
Damn, I would expect them to have some booze on that cruise.
Cold turkey, baby. I know, man.
Fuck.
But they get there February 1st, 1942, to a place called Camp Pell, which was this like makeshift tent city they had there. And there's 4 men to a tent. Guess who he fucking has to share a tent with?
The bearded lady.
3 Italians. So he shacked up with 3 Italians, Joseph Acciagrassi, Vincent Tuzio, and Pat Farino.
Sounds like a good group of guys.
Sounds like a very loud group of guys. Let's just say the sauce was in no danger of not getting stirred with that crew. He gets there, like, he's very antisocial. Like, he can turn on the charm when he's drinking, but he's a real motherfucker to do.
And I bet those Italians bonded quickly, and they immediately started giving this guy shit.
Oh, no doubt, baby. He gets put on kitchen patrol, and he gets something called, it's like a Class A pass, which means, like, once he's done his job, he doesn't have to do a fucking thing else.
For the day.
for the day.
Yeah.
So he's done work every day by 10:30 a.m.
Damn, and they can't be like, hey, fucking private, get over here and do this.
No, he's done.
Fuck, I never knew that was a thing that existed.
It is the thing. It's I don't know if it's true for everybody.
So when would he have to ever pick up a gun and go fight? Only if their base was under attack?
Yeah, everybody does get fucking weapons, but if your job is in the kitchen,
you're not going
you're just
out
cooking.
on
No.
fucking mission.
Right, yeah, you're not in infantry or anything like that.
Huh.
So he's just cooking, and whatever time he's got to get there in the morning, I imagine it's probably like 2:00 in the morning or some shit like that. But he's done by 10:30 in the morning, and as soon as he gets done, he goes out drinking. It's pretty awesome.
Baby.
Yeah. Now out there, they used to do this thing where I can't remember the term that they used for it, but people used to drink in hotels a lot there, and because of the brownout, last call would be like 6:00 at night. So they would do something. I forget the term for it. Pardon me, my throat's getting really dry. But they had a funny term for like all the beers that they would order at last call, and they would just pound them.
A Bondi? Did they order up
It's not too far from that.
Yeah, that's just the name of a beach, I think.
Bondi Beach. That's a surfing beach, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think I
they
remember
had a
that.
Netflix show or something about it.
Okay.
Seemed like a cool place that I'll never fucking go to.
So
Damn,
with this,
I want to know what they ordered. Oh, hey, Mace, we'll take a bit of the Fosters.
there was something else that they used to have.
It's probably like a Subaru. Like, give me a Subaru of Fosters.
Well, dude, with one of his victims, they ordered something called a gin squash. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, I don't know what it entails other than gin.
Okay. Nice story,
But I think
bro.
you shit in your pants. Makes you shit your pants. But dude, with him being able to have nothing else to do during the day, of course he's going to fucking take advantage of this shit.
Yeah.
He's going to go AWOL often. He just goes out into town and he'll fucking get lost.
Early 20s still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll go out. He'll get hammered. He'll go AWOL. They get him. They'll come and bring him back.
How much trouble are you in when you get brought back from that?
It depends. He eventually gets put in the stockade because he goes AWOL so often.
Okay.
And also, well, this has a lot more to do with it too. He gets drunk and he kisses a lady without permission. Yeah.
A Sheila.
Yes.
With no permission.
Yep. And dude, he would also get in trouble for this too. This is very funny. He would get hammered and then he would go into random tents and dump people out of their beds.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
God, that's funny.
And there's nothing anybody could do about it because he could fight, he could wrestle, and
could
he was
type.
strong as shit. Yeah.
I'll type you a fucking letter right now if you don't unhand me, sir.
I just typed your own death warrant, pal.
All right. He's fucking really wilding out.
Yeah, he is. And he's getting away with it to a certain point, and then he finally gets put in the stockade for all this shit combined.
Is that just like solitary confinement, basically?
Well, it depends where it is. Now, considering that their living quarters consisted of a fucking tent city, I'm willing to bet that their stockade at Camp Pell was just some fencing. Now,
You sleep there for like a week or something?
yeah. So it's like a makeshift prison. Now, during that time, somebody's sneaking him booze in. So he's getting drunk the entire time he's in the stockade.
Yeah.
The man. He's doing this, and then he's like, all right, dude, I don't know when I'm getting out of here. Fuck this. Like, I got a hankering for some snacks. He breaks out of the stockade. One of the guards sees him, tells him to stop. He's like, no, fuck it. I got to go to the PX, which is, I think it's Post Exchange, which is like kind of like a general store you can go to get shit on the base.
He's just got drunk munchies, and he's like,
He does, yeah.
stopping me from getting my bag of Doritos.
The fucking, the MP tells him to stop. He's like, dude, I got to get a fucking snack. The guy shoots at him, doesn't hit him. He makes it all the way to the PX, and he buys himself some chocolate. And then the guards catch up to him at the PX as he's eating chocolate, and they put him back in there. So he gets his little snack. April 1942, he starts to really take his little bad boy business up to another level.
Yeah.
He meets up with this woman named Doreen Justice. He asks her for directions. He's hammered as usual. Asks her for directions. She gives it to him, and then he notices he likes the way she talks. Again, the thing with voices, and he likes the way she looks. So he follows her back to her apartment. Breaks into her apartment. She falls asleep. She notices like he's broken into her apartment. She recognizes him as the man who she gave directions to earlier. On top of that, he's naked and his bird's rock hard. On top of this, she notices he has a very large mole on his dick.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Gross.
You got anything weird on your dick?
No. Do you?
I got a tattoo of Chippendale Rescue Rangers.
One CGI, one still classically animated.
I did like that movie a lot. Did you watch it?
I did watch it. I enjoyed it as well. Danny Dubs, did you catch the new Chippendales Rescue Rangers movie? And you loved it.
It was pretty good.
A resounding 3 yeses.
No, I got
a combined 6 thumbs up from the room.
I got the tattoo on my dick with the original Rescue Rangers, so nobody can say I'm a poser.
Yeah, and you got it 15 years ago.
Yep. So, dude, he breaks in. This lady, lady realizes she's about to be assaulted. She's like, all right, listen, before this happens, can I please just get a drink of water? So he begrudgingly gets her up off the bed, walks her into the kitchen with a rock hard boner with a mole on it. As they're walking to the kitchen, she breaks free of his grip, runs out into the hallway. He catches up with her there, and as she's screaming, a neighbor opens the door. And this lady, the neighbor lady, starts freaking out on the guy, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to get at her, misunderstanding. However, the woman that he attacked was just afraid of what her husband would think. Because there's no way that,
you had
if you're married to an animal, he would understand that, like, oh, yeah, a guy just broke in.
Yeah.
And plus, her husband hated the police. So there was no way that she was calling the cops on this guy.
So how did he get reported?
It didn't get reported. So after, as things progressed and as it became known around Melbourne that this shit was happening, this eventually gets, word gets around that this happened.
He
confesses to everything too.
This gets word of mouth spread.
Dog, it gets bad enough as to where it's like a manhunt, and it eventually leads to the base, and that's how they end up finding this fucking guy.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a very cool detective who's on the case. This guy, Sid McGuffey, who just sounds like an old school, noir detective.
Yeah.
He's the guy that ends up tracking him down. All right. So right after this, there's an attack at the fucking, at this ice rink that's close by.
A war-related attack?
No. There's an attack from Eddie Leonski onto a random lady who he sees at an ice skating rink, and he catches up to her. And he says, I'm thinking of choking a dame, and it might as well be you.
Fuck, is this his first victim?
A little spooky. So, no, he doesn't kill her. He chokes her, though, to the point where she blacks out. She doesn't die.
Does all of his bullshit take place in Australia?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
He never makes it back home to America.
Okay, shit.
Yeah, he's fucking tearing it up. So, dude,
he just didn't want to take that flight again. He was like, that fucking pain in the ass. I might as well choke women here.
May 3rd, 1942, he commits his first murder. Now, he probably met this woman May 2nd. This woman, Ivy McLeod. All of his victims are women that are middle-age-ish and quite possibly remind him of his mom.
Okay.
And I mentioned earlier that the mom, or did I mention this, that the mom would sing him to sleep when the dad would be especially abusive.
No, you didn't mention that.
Okay, so I think that's where this fucking voice fetish started, with his mother comforting him
soothing
from the dad being an abusive alcoholic.
Yeah, okay. So anything, a woman that kind of sounded comforting in the style of his mother is who he was going for.
But at the same time, he also ended up hating his mom because she regressed further into her alcoholism, and then she became so mentally ill that she just couldn't take care of the kids.
Okay, so he's trying to representatively kill his mother or whatever. Yeah.
So
I'm a psycho.
I don't put anything past you.
I'm fucking here, bro.
I believe it, man.
I'm gonna analyze this fucking guy.
I'm not gonna hold that little piss stain in the front of your pants against you.
I got a sweaty coke over here, bro. You used to do a lot of sweaty coke, right?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I might start doing it again this summer.
I gotta get my coke phase before I turn 40. I feel like
it's worthwhile, man.
Yeah. Seems expensive though.
It can get expensive, man. Honestly, it being so hard to find during my heyday probably saved my life.
Yeah.
There were times when it would just seem like it was raining cocaine, but then other times it was just like cocaine dealers are so unreliable. Yeah. It's like, yeah, dude, I'm on my way, and then you don't see them for fucking 3 weeks.
I mean, whatever to get you to fucking shut the fuck up and stop texting him. Sure.
Oh, dude, there was one night I just met this guy, and he sold me a bag of coke. I met him down at Delaware Avenue, like early in the night, and then like 4 hours later, I was finished what he sold me. I texted him like no less than 50 times.
Oh my god, dude!
And then eventually, like he calls me. He's like, "What's up?" I was like, "I want more." He's like, "All right, cool."
I know you do.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah, I'll meet you at it was right by my friend's house." He's like, "Yeah, just I'm heading there now, and I'll call you when I'm close." And he just never called.
And then he immediately got a new number.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. But it was that bad.
Coke pest.
Oh my god! When I wanted it, baby. So this woman named Ivy McLeod, like most of these attacks occur where the tram runs. The tram. Okay. You know how Wildwood would be having tram cars?
Oh, not on a track.
This probably was on a track.
Okay.
It was just a different variation of a tram. So most of these attacks happen at a tram stop or close by to one.
Okay.
So this woman's waiting for one. He sees her waiting. He eventually, I think it's like late at night when she's waiting for it and she's unsure when the next one's going to come. She starts walking, and a man who is Eddie Leonski forces her into an alcove. While he's there, he does his patented fucking move, which is he always says he sets up the choke with his right hand, and then he finishes with the left. So the right hand is the power hand, which is what he gets her with. And then
like
the left hand's like the finisher. Yeah. But dude, he fucking he eventually demonstrates his choking technique on one of the guards before he's executed.
Who asked for that?
I think the guy that I mentioned, Sid McGuffey.
Wow.
And that's where he explains his technique, where he sets it up with the right and then he finishes with the left. And then he's like, look, I'm only going to put a little bit of pressure just to give you an idea. He's like, but I promise you I'm going to let go. He does it, and the guy he does it to says like he instantly felt like his lights were going to go out.
Jesus Christ.
So this poor woman, Ivy McLeod, he chokes her, and then when he lets her go, she falls to the ground and she fractures her skull.
Oh my God, that's how she died. It wasn't from strangulation.
It was probably the strangulation, but the fractured skull was just the fucking, the icing on the cake. For some reason, like he wants to make the scene look as though she's the victim. She's a prostitute. So like he pulls some of her clothes off and like he spreads her legs open, which I don't know. It's just an insane thing to do to begin with. But that's how he leaves his body.
How is that going to take you off the suspect list? Like,
it's not. Yeah, and it's like the base is close by, so eventually they're going to figure out that it's probably one of these fucking soldiers.
And are these times that he's technically AWOL? Is he not even supposed to be off base, or is he?
No, I mean this is at nighttime, so it's leading up to his shift to make breakfast. Yeah. So like he's still technically able to do what he wants because he has that Class A pass.
Right.
The next morning, the woman's body is discovered, and 6 days later, the next woman becomes one of his victims. This woman, Pauline Thompson, is a very interesting lady. She moved from a different part of Australia called Bendigo, I think it is how it's pronounced.
Okay.
She's got a husband and 2 kids. So she's a lounge singer. She wants to move to Melbourne because she realizes like there's so many people there now. There's so many soldiers looking for entertainment.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I just want to go there. I want to try to make some money. So her and the husband, they split up. He stays where they're originally from with one of the kids, and she takes one of the kids to Melbourne. So she's still going around, and she has family in Melbourne, so they take care of the kid while she's out doing her lounge thing. And, she likes to have a good time, so she's out. She's having a few drinks. She meets up with him at a place called the Hospitality Club, and then they end up setting up shop at this place called the Astoria Hotel. That's where they drink these gin squashes. I wish I had made one for you tonight.
Ooh, that would have been tasty.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, man. I'm such an idiot.
What's the squash thing? Is it just a term, or is there that gross gourd involved in the
I would have
recipe?
given you straight gin and then mashed your fucking testicles. I would not have even thought of looking up the recipe.
That's an easy way to get me to not like drinking gin.
All right, so they're drinking, and she sank for him.
Big mistake, lady.
Yeah, so unfortunately, he signed her death warrant in.
Is that the one that you said
beautiful
earlier?
Handwriting.
Where he was like, told her up front, like,
I had to have that voice.
Yeah.
I believe so. I can't be sure because there was 3 women that he did this to, and it was one of them where he said, as soon as I heard her voice, I knew I had to have it, as though he's collecting the voice.
Yeah.
So they hang out all night, and they have a good time together, but as he's walking her to a boarding house, and outside the boarding house, apparently, like, he gives her a kiss, and before she could turn away, he starts strangling her.
Yikes.
Same thing as the first lady. Chokes her out, you know.
And this is like hardly under the cover of darkness, right? Like, he's in a position where somebody could possibly walk out of this boarding house.
Well, dude, it's funny you said that because after the first murder, a cop walks by almost right after the murder happens. Doesn't see him, but it's not long after he commits this crime where, you know, the cop's on the scene and he sees this lady in the fucking alley.
Yeah.
So he barely gets by. So it's clear that, like, this is an impulse that, like, he's not even going to try to fucking deny.
Yeah.
So now he's got 2 victims. And at this time, there's another man going around the town assaulting and choking women.
To death as well?
Not to death, but just...
Very coincidental that there's...
It is. Now, one thing that works in Eddie Leonski's favor is that the other guy that's doing it is a black dude, so I think racism plays into this as to where he might become the focal point.
Yeah.
You know, rather than word getting around that a white guy's also doing the same thing.
Yeah, especially, I mean, his victims are dead, so it's not even like they can report it was a white man.
Yeah, so they're probably just all assuming it's this one dude. About a week and a half later, May 18th, 1942, the third victim, Gladys Hoskins.
Damn, so all in the same month.
Dog, he's fucking going apeshit here. This woman, she's working at a chemistry lab at the University of Melbourne, and she's working with a friend. They get their work done for the day. They knock off for the night, and she decides to walk home. She's walking to the tram, and as she's walking, Eddie meets up with her. And as they're walking, he pretends like he's lost. He's like, yeah, I need to get back to Camp Pell. I don't know which way I'm going. So she walks with him. He ends up strangling her, possibly sexual assaulting her. Now, I don't know about these medical examiners because, like, the way that I read it was from the book that I mentioned, Murder at Dusk. In that book, the medical examiner describes, like, a mysterious fucking substance on her vagina. Well, it's like, all right, dude, that's probably jizz.
Yeah.
And then they also describe...
Was it your first day looking at jizz?
Yeah, dude.
Fucking
let me show you a little bit, all right? And then they describe...
Here, put your hand out.
Better yet, open your mouth. And then they describe, like, a mysterious, like, this yellow mud, which also could be jizz.
I've never heard jizz described as yellow mud, so...
Would you like it to be?
Not particularly.
All right, I'll stop calling it yellow mud.
Would you describe your make as yellow mud?
Not now.
When?
Maybe when I was younger, man.
Yeah, maybe like the first one that comes out.
Yeah, like
yellow tint to it, but
it's like when you're cleaning out the gutters. It's
this
like,
guy's probably been spraying loads for 12 years. You know?
Yeah, it could be.
Wait, is he not even 25 yet?
So this is 1942, 1917, 25.
On the nose.
Yeah.
Well, he should have all his yellow mud out of his system. But
now, the yellow mud might just be where they found the body. It could just be like a hillside or something like that. But
or this could be the mayor's son that's a retard doing detective work.
That does happen.
I found a lot of leftover grilled cheese in there. I don't know if it was from what I had for lunch or if this guy's the grilled cheese pussy snatcher.
That's what I want my nickname to be if I end up becoming a killer. Can you make sure that happens?
Well, you better have the ingredients on you at the time.
Now, dude, by this point, now granted, like, this is maybe fucking 2 weeks after his initial murder, but word's already getting around that shit's starting to point to him.
And he did get busted for that naked hallway interaction, right?
No.
It never got to him?
He never got busted for that.
Okay.
So, dude, word's starting to get around, and one of the things that directly points to him is that somebody calls the cops and tells them to look for a drunkard that walks on his hands.
That's obviously,
you're kind of fucked when you let people know that you can do that shit, and then you're also a guy that's fucking choking ladies out.
But who gave that anonymous tip?
I don't know.
This is just from Whisper Down the Lane.
Dude, it might be.
Like, it's that fucking guy.
I think it might have been one of his roommates, because there was a guy named, one of the roommates, Pat Farino, was apparently like would try to make small talk with him, and then when it became apparent that like these attacks were happening, you know, just from him being conscious of like trying to make small talk and trying to like learn more about him.
He could read that he was a little bit off.
He could read that he's a little bit off, and he would also pay attention to the times where he came in, especially after the third murder, where he came in, he was covered in fucking mud.
Yeah, the famous yellow mud.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some of that famous yellow mud, buddy.
Out here eating yellow mud pies.
So all this shit's starting to line up, and then there was an attempted rape where a piece of U.S. Army clothing was left behind, and his fucking initials were on this piece of clothing.
Jesus Christ.
EJL. So now all this shit's lining up.
Yeah.
And it was another Italian. It was a guy named Joey Gallo who ended up giving them information on this. All right. So at this point, they know it's somebody from fucking Camp Pell. So the cops go there, led by this detective named Sid McGuffey, and they actually have them form a parade to come past.
Not knowing that they're about to be a police lineup, essentially.
I don't know if they know that, but people that I think it was the woman who was the victim of the attempted rape is the one that's brought there to watch all these guys come past. So as they're parading all these guys, the parade finishes, and then the woman's there with her uncle. So the uncle knows what this guy looks like too, because I guess he saw him as he was running away.
Okay.
The parade finishes, and as the crowd of army guys is dispersing, they're like, "That's him," which is fucking Eddie Leonski. And as soon as they fucking pick him out, he's like, "All right, you got me." He admitted to everything.
Right there,
right then and there. It's
all three fucking murders,
everything. Not just that, but just other assaults he committed, the attempted rape, and this was May 20th, 1942.
Damn, he fucking folded like a goddamn chair.
Now, one of the weirder aspects of this, that's in that book that I mentioned, which was written by a guy named Ian Shaw. So if anybody wants to check out that book, they mentioned the relationship between Sid McGuffey and Eddie Leonski as being bordering a friendship. Because once he's caught, like he spills all the beans to him, and they just spend a lot of time together, and they're very cordial, even though it's a fucking detective-prisoner fucking relationship.
Well, is the detective's thought like, I'll kill this guy with kindness?
That wasn't the impression that I got by the way this was written.
He found his soulmate?
It doesn't sound too far off.
Wow.
It's strange. Because, I mean, judging by how quickly Eddie Leonski gave up all this information, it really doesn't seem like you had to fucking pour the sugar on to get this motherfucker talking. So they're talking, and Eddie Leonski, before he gets to this, so he's prosecuted under American military law. He confesses to everything, and he's sentenced to hang. And they have to bring in this special fucking, this gallows beam and trap rig.
What's this?
It's called a gallows beam and trap, which is what they set up to hang you back then.
Okay. They have this on base.
No, they have to bring it. He has to be brought to this place called Pentridge Prison.
Okay, that's an Australian place.
It's an Australian prison, and they bring this huge contraption to this place.
So the army has nothing to do with this at this point. This is Australian authorities that are...
No, the army prosecutes them for this. So the Australian authorities, like, they just investigate the crimes. But as far as the prosecution, it's all military justice.
The military fucking hangs him?
They do. The military fucking hangs him.
I didn't know they fucking did that.
Dog, it's fucking wild. They bring in this fucking contraption to hang him, and apparently it's the same contraption. Did you ever hear of an Australian murderer named Ned Kelly?
Yes.
Real bad boy, a cop killer. Really handsome, too.
It's the same, was it the same exact?
The same fucking contraption they used to hang Ned Kelly, they used to hang fucking Eddie Leonski.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Does it have like the trap door like you see in a movie?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Yowzer. That shit snaps your neck pretty much, right? You don't even...
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
There was...
Which seems like not enough punishment.
Humane, yeah.
Yeah. You fucking let this guy suffocate under his own weight instead of snapping his neck.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because the way it was described in the book, they said it was it lasted. The sound of it lasted roughly a second, but it was described as a second that you'll never forget.
Ew.
Yeah, pretty gross. The hangman. This was kind of interesting too. The hangman was anonymous, and his identity could not be revealed for 75 years. In addition to that, the hangman was responsible for bringing his own rope.
Which one of you stopped at Home Depot today? That's crazy. Have you ever seen that anywhere else?
No, I have not. I don't know if it's an Australian thing or whatever.
Is that just to assume that the guy would be dead by then and that him being found out wouldn't matter?
I think so.
Why ever let him reveal it? That's so weird.
I would take off my mask. Be like, I'm sorry, I gotta blow my nose real quick. Oh, my bad. Y'all know who I am.
Did you mistakenly think that you had to wear the mask for 75 years?
I'm just fucking with it on.
Yeah.
I'm at my son's t-ball game wearing the mask. No batter. Oh, dude. So I mentioned Sid McGuffey and Eddie Leonski having a bromance. And right before he's executed, he says to Sid McGuffey, he says, if you know any dames that need strangling, you know where to send them.
And what did fucking Sid say? Ha ha, you rascal.
I'll bet he laughed it off.
Man. Is Sid known for anything else after this?
Yeah, he was a pretty well-known Australian detective. There was a guy who I believe was like his great nephew who got into like private investigating, who there was a fairly recent article about. And I think part of his claim to fame, because I think he was a private investigator, and I think his way of kind of like promoting his business was to mention that he's a descendant of Sid McGuffey.
It's my lineage.
Mm-hmm.
Was Sid ever known to be buddy with any other of his
Not that I know of.
Suspects?
But dude, here's another thing. One of the MPs that was on hand at the execution, apparently when they placed Eddie Leonski's hood over his head, the MP whispered, "I'm sorry, buddy." Really? And then Eddie said, "It's quite okay, pal. Carry on."
Damn.
Isn't that sweet?
Eddie was fucked up, dude. Eddie was ready to die.
He was, baby.
God damn.
And then by 6 a.m., he was dead, and this was November 9th, 1942.
Fucking A. What a whirlwind of a year for old Eddie.
Dog, not even a fucking year, dude. It was May to fucking November.
6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a hard 6 months, baby.
Man.
I think my hardest 6 months was when I saw corn like 3 times in the summer. So that's no Eddie Leonski summer.
No, that guy would have really breezed through that.
Yeah, it's a hot boy summer.
Man, so he never left Australia. I wonder if he knew he was going to fucking be doing that shit when he was going over there.
I don't know,
if he
man.
thought in his head, like, I'm going to kill these women in a foreign country. Nobody's going to care because I'm on the army base, so they'll never figure it out.
Yeah, it's tough.
Or if he just snapped there after drinking himself into a stupor.
Yeah, it had to put a smile on his face knowing that he was going 6 feet down under. Teasing. You know I had to do it.
You had to. You've been fucking waiting for that one.
So happy birthday in heaven, Eddie Leonski. You piece of shit.
You piece of fucking dog shit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be your fucking buddy, you fucking animal.
No, but the walking on your hands and maintaining a stiff boner was pretty funny.
They should have buried him hands down, feet up. Just dropped him in there.
All right, so he wasn't. Have you known about this guy, or was he a suggestion?
No, I was not. Like I saw his nickname and it made me laugh.
Yeah,
so I looked him up.
Which one? Both of them?
No, the singing Strangler.
Okay,
the brown out.
You just pictured him just doing the singing at first.
I did. Yeah, I didn't know. Like he just loved the way ladies sang.
What do you like better? What seems more appropriate for his nickname?
I do prefer the singing Strangler. The brown out.
It doesn't have anything to do with the brown out, really. It's just like that.
Yeah, he just did it during the brown out
area.
Now, I think it made it easier to kill women
because there was not like
right. It wasn't illuminated
street lights and shit.
Right.
Okay.
So it's scarier.
Huh. Yeah. I was kind of picturing at least like street lights during all these. You know,
baby.
Fucking pitch black in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude! Could you imagine hearing footsteps behind you? You can't see a fucking thing.
I would moonwalk everywhere I went.
You'd moonwalk right into the aggressor.
Be doing spins and everything. You never seen me dance, have you?
No,
You
good?
might have. You were at a wedding together.
We were
yeah.
getting down at the wedding together.
Yeah, we were.
You nasty. You were
At
nasty.
the
on the floor.
Kardashian wedding, yeah. Well, buddy, this was fun. We actually have another episode to record. We're about to record our Mini Stinkers episode, and I have a very special surprise to reveal for you during that episode.
All right. Is a mini stinker by default not a murderer?
Not necessarily. Like, I want to limit Mini Stinkers to just more so people that have had one significant incident.
Okay.
Could be murder, could just be something bad boy or bad girlish.
Mm-hmm.
And overall, I just want it to be funny.
Yeah.
But
well, I'm excited for your surprise. Should I be excited or should I be fearful?
I think you're going to be excited.
Okay.
So we're going to keep the awkward small talk post episode to a minimum on this one.
All right.
We're going to get right into our Mini Snickers episode. If you've watched this episode on Patreon, thank you for becoming a patron, and I really appreciate you supporting us. It allows me to buy things like I bought tonight to surprise John with, which I'll reveal on the Mini Snickers episode, which I'm very proud to reveal to him.
You can't wait.
So thank you for your support. And if you're not watching this on Patreon, if you're watching this as a free app, consider joining the Patreon. You can do that at patreon.com/Lil Stinkers. That's LILSTINKERS. You get extra episodes. You get fucking every episode a week early before any of these fucking free dickheads get it. You get any other fucking weird shit we do. We do live AMAs every month. We're going to be adding more shit this summer. So I didn't tell you. I'm cutting back my work schedule.
Yeah?
My real life work schedule so I can do more stinker shit.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm pretty fired up about that. And I have some very fucked up things that I would like you to take part in that I'm going to run by you after we're done. Now that I have the time.
Is any of it a summertime corn maze?
Loosely related.
What if we went to a corn maze?
You will get lost.
All right, that rules. We should go to corn mazes and get changed inside the maze into horror costumes.
I would like that.
And make little kids pee their pants.
All right, that's fucked up.
Sorry, kids. I'm Freddy Krueger, and you gonna piss your little pants.
All right, well, John's going to do that to the kids. I'm just going to keep making little stinker stuff.
No, you're
But yeah, if you're not a patron, consider joining us. Patreon.com/Little Stinkers. Patrons, thank you. You guys are the fucking best. And yeah, let's go record this fucking Mini Snickers episode and show you my surprise.
All right. Surprise time.
Love you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.